Good morning, this is Ben, and today what I want to show you is, like, let's say you don't have a radio. Boom. So I've got no radio in here, and I want to get audio and I don't want to buy a radio. Well, if you have an amp, like a regular amplifier, then all you gotta do, dude, is what I've done here is I've taken the audio feed from the jack. Alright, it's going into this little tablet right here that just like Velcro's on right there. Okay? And the Velcro needs replacing because it's kind of losing its grippiness, but it's been some good Velcro. Anyway, and you solder that in to wires. Okay, where do those wires go? Well, there's a ground on here. As usual, you can see the bottom one's a ground and then there's a right and a left. So, like, bottom one's a ground, there's a right and a left, and they go to the amplifier inputs. So you got to split the ground off so that each one of these get the ground, and then they're going to go to this outer shield part, and then the positives go down on the inside to the pins. Okay? So that's the input, and then on the other side of the amp, you got your outputs. So yeah, anyway, it's gonna output, and I just take that back. There's a positive and a negative, right and a left, for your speakers, and just I ran that down, boop, 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 you know, back through here, and under here it just connects right back to where the speaker connections are. I only hooked up 2 of them, the 2 doors, but you could just split each of those in 2 and then go boom to the front and the back, and it works fine. You're not gonna have the control to, like, let's make the sound be more on this speaker or that speaker. You're not gonna have that. You can't balance it right and left because you have a right and a left line, but you don't have a front and a back line. You're just splitting it off. So, like, you're probably thinking, like, Ben, does that work? Like, it works. When you split it off like that, what you're doing is dividing the current in 2, but you're not dividing the voltage in 2. So anyway, my point is you don't have to have a car stereo to get sound in your car. You just need an amp, and of course you got to hook up the amp so that it's got power, and then there's an accessory line that, like, switches it on. So, like, in here, of course, with any amp, there's going to be a line that has to connect in here, and there's a wire that actually becomes electrified when you turn the key, and that turns the radio on, but you also connect the amp into that and it'll turn the amp on. It's not the actual main power for the amp, it's just like a switch line that turns it on. If I turn the key, yeah, so that's a way around not having a radio in your car and wanting to have a radio in your car. If you have, like, I had this old amp from forever ago and found it in the bottom of a box, and, like, I don't have to go buy a stereo. I can just use this thing and wire it all up, and then we're good. Okay? And if you want to put a radio in somewhere or make a radio somehow, some wacky situation, this may work for you. I don't know. But anyway, hope that helps.